Hello, guys. It's Jeffrey. Sorry we're late. Um, Welcome to another Sunday, another episode. We're going to be talking about celebrity candidates. We're going to look at a few examples. I should have Harry and Charles with me in a minute. Um, we're late because we had a few issues to sort out, but we're ready now. So we're going to be discussing celebrity candidates, trying to look at what really motivates them. Um, One would have thought celebrity power gives them just as much enough power to do what they could have done as politicians as well. So, it baffles me that they still need the celebrity power to sort of say they're going to help the community and do this and that. So let's see if we can get Harry on. Yeah, there's Harry. Hello, brother.
Yes, good morning, good evening on your side.
Yeah, it's evening on my side. Good morning in America, though. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank
Sorry,
you.
sorry, we're a bit late. We had some issues to sort out, but it's sorted now, and we can
Awesome.
get the ball rolling.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, we wanted to talk today about celebrity candidates. Clearly,
Mm-hmm.
they have an unfair advantage over the other candidates.
Mm.
A lot of them seem to come in with pretty much minimal qualifications. Some of them
Mm.
with just the basic senior six. Some of them do have degrees.
Mm.
But when you consider everything in perspective, you consider the
Mm.
theory of they do
Mm.
and sort of specializing,
Mm.
um, I think it becomes an issue with celebrity
Mm.
candidates. And celebrity power
Mm.
gives them enough power to do anything that they wanted to do for the community anyway. So then
Mm.
you ask yourself, is it necessary for them to still want this political power to sort of do what they say they're gonna do? So I'm
Mm.
struggling to see how they're gonna do anything differently besides legislation that they couldn't
Mm.
have done with celebrity power. And that's my main concern today. So let's just get the ball rolling and say, celebrity power versus political power. Is there a difference?
Uh, okay, first of all, let me thank all our viewers who are viewing us today for taking their time to come learn, and also other youth who are willing to give in the effort, dedicating their time to this program. Straight to the point, celebrity, that's a lot of, it takes a lot of work to be a celebrity. So when it comes to celebrity versus politicians, okay, when a celebrity comes in, because celebrity comes into very many ways. There are celebrity who are musicians, there are celebrity who are actors, there are celebrity who are sportsmen. So these are people who have done exceptional things at their youth level. They had the
True.
discipline, they had name clean, because being a celebrity can either build you or destroy you. So
True.
you've seen it a lot of, like, say, like in sports or music, you've seen a lot of youth before even age 25, they have lost, they were like, they had potential in a lot of things, let it be school or whatever talent that they have. So they
Mm.
ended up losing it just because they don't have mentorship, they don't have a proper following or upbringing. So for somebody to be a celebrity that's celebrated nationwide or region-wide, it
Mm.
means somebody, he has put in a lot of effort. One, mentorship, discipline, and dedication, and trying to see what direction is good for them. So like as a youth, okay, if you see like the ladder of leadership, say you can
Mm.
class prefect, maybe you can go to assistant head boy, or maybe like kind of like a society leader.
Mm.
So that's how like the ladder goes. So when it comes to celebrity, say like for example, let me put like because I used to be a track athlete. So the reason it's through my track that I went this far, to as far as having the capability of coming to USA. So
Mm.
giving like from my personal experience at celebrity, like the way I said about discipline. So these celebrities, okay, these are people who like took their talent, the given talent, and balance with say academics, and they kind of transform it. How money, or how can I turn it into monetary generating? So you see, they have business mind in it. So much as you're growing yourself as a celebrity or whatever talent you're in, one, you're trying to see, because you might think that they are not learning, but remember, as an entrepreneur, how can I turn my music or my sports into money generating? So they are learning about the business laws. They're learning about communication, because that exposure to people, they are learning the psychology. They are learning how can I deal with a community. So that's also another formal way of learning. It's not like the academic or class learning. So they're also learning. So like, for example,
Well,
you were taking.
Harry, if I can stop you, our focus is there a difference between celebrity power and political power? Because my point there being, whatever they want to do as politicians, they could have done as celebrities. We see celebrities in other parts of the world go on to do great things for their communities without necessarily the political power. And it's quite a transition from being a celebrity to being a politician. Now, in your own views, is there a difference? Or is the celebrity power sufficient that we don't again need to accord these people the political power? And yes, some of them are very experienced and have learned fast. You can talk of Boswick, he had to learn very fast. He did a lot for the community already as well. He's fed a lot of families and boys through his work. I respect him for that. But really, everything he could have achieved as a politician, he would have been able to achieve as a celebrity. So a difference between celebrity power and political power. The only difference for me there maybe being that as a politician, they're able to make laws, of which that is a special field. So now for them to cross over from what they've quite become good at to try and do something they may not be quite good at, are they really abusing or disenfranchising voters from making the right choices? Because they know they have the upper hand, they know they have the popularity. That is the point of our discussion today. So if you could very briefly just tell our viewers, is there a difference, and will a celebrity make any other difference than they could have already done as a celebrity?
Okay, that's how I was coming to the point, because I was giving those examples, because you find in a pool of say like 100 celebrities that we have, putting aside their music, music or like sports, there's something that as they have like in life. For example, if we go like the most now, like the trending one in the nation is Robert Kyagulanyi. We know he's a musician, but as a musician, remember before, as he joined Makerere, this is a guy who started off like with political science, but he did it for 1 year, but then it was boring, because he was in class with Betty Kamia, the likes of Betty Kamia and Moses Ali in evening class. But after 1 year, he came back to music, because there's very many ways how you can find your way back into leadership. Because if you're born a leader, through your celebrity world, you can be a leader. Then down the road, post your talent, say like post music, post sports. Now that's when you go back into what your heart is in. So like for going direct like to Kyagulanyi, now like post his music, you saw just because he has a mind of being a politician or leader, as you see like he through his music, now he's coming back home to where his calling is, as like being a leader. So just shortly after that,
on Kyagulanyi though, let's stay on Kyagulanyi, because it's quite an interesting character at the moment. He's making a lot of waves, but he doesn't seem to want to give up the music. Whereas when you see somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, from he became the governor of California, the acting stopped. So will there be a conflict of interest?
Okay, like as I'm trying to say, so most of them post. So he's now at that point where he's doing transition. He's within a transition stage whereby after post, because Arnold Schwarzenegger, as he was becoming a governor, once in a while he goes in these celebrity shows, and he featured in one of, I think he featured on one or two kind of like all those endorsements or commercials. He has like a personal show, even if it's not so much. So it's the same thing as like you see Kyagulanyi. He's not performing every day, just perform once, maybe once in 6 months, or maybe during like kind of like maybe like festival when people. So you see like this whole year probably, or last year he performed like on like 2. He goes just in specific shows. That's where you find him. So that's like the same thing as like say like the way you brought out Arnold Schwarzenegger. So his celebrity pushed him into that, but as an actor, he acted just seldomly as like by the time he was a governor. But now, when it say like Kyagulanyi reaches like say like in the next 3 or 4 years, I know there will be a new generation of again youth again where like the trend of music or the trend of that generation will be totally something new. So he will have transformed into his post-music era. So he's kind of doing a transition. So that's how like when we come back, that's how like when you see Bosnich, he's also in the process of now doing transition from his music to leadership, where he was like, because if you see his music too, he emphasizes the problems and all these struggles that people normally have in day-to-day walk of life. So
but then again, that is the advocacy through the music in itself speaks of somebody's quality as a leader. And we see Bosmik and Kyagulanyi did a lot of that. But not all the celebrities did that. So in a sense, we could say, judging that Bosmik and probably Kyagulanyi had something about leadership in them already. But the difference between Bosmik and Kyagulanyi, and I will say this, is that Bosmik did a lot in the community. Okay, Bosmik always mobilized the youth. He always did something. He was always active about Acholi culture. He always advocated for Acholi. And Kyagulanyi, in a sense, did that for Buganda culture as well. But his impact with the youth is quite minimal, really. So then it brings me to my second question. Then is it about money? Because technically, what they could have done as politicians, they would have been able to do as celebrities anyway. So is it about money? We all know with the music now, things are a bit hard. Okay, and we also know that music is a young man's sport, and these guys at their prime, you know, probably soon clocking 40, and the music is not a lot over time. It's not the same thing. So the transition per se, I'm not having a problem with. I'm having a problem with their reason for the transition. Is it all about money, or they still each individually have it in them that the end goal was to become leaders?
Okay, like as I said, the end goal was to become leaders. So like through music is a language, or like your sports is where you can let me say it's like an umbrella or a platform that you can echo or address your agenda. So like when you went back to Kyagulanyi, it's not really about money, because business wise, if you've been following this guy, because the first time I saw this guy when I was like in Chambogo, him and Butcherman, sometimes they used to come sing. There was a bar in Banda where sometimes they used to come practice there.
Yeah, I know. Is it Club Ecstasy?
Yes, yeah,
that was
like
a long time ago. It was just by the roadside.
Yeah, just slightly before the road. Yeah, that's where sometimes they used to come. He made that even club famous. That's during when he had just when Kagoma Kalubendera came out. Then because if you see the assets that this guy has done and his charity in Kamocha, this guy has done a lot with the youth of Kamocha within Kampala. So when it comes to money wise, this guy among his musicians, honestly, this guy has invested a lot
No,
in
he
music.
is the richest musician in Uganda. He is the richest musician in Uganda. I can confirm that because
Mm.
I've known the gentleman for some time, and he's quite wealthy. He is the richest musician in Uganda, and
Mm.
then probably Ragadi comes second somewhere there. And it's interesting because when he started off in his career, he wasn't following the path of everybody else. Everybody
Mhm.
else was going through the modern type of music, pushing for club sale, pushing for ingénieur. Bobby Wine,
Mhm.
just like Bossmake, he went the other direction. He went into the local clubs. He went into the
Mhm.
local communities. And that's how his music became popular. And the only little help he probably had was from his brother Eddie Yahweh. And there was a
Mhm.
time Bobby Wine songs could only be on Radio Simba and CBS FM because he
Mhm.
was looked at as more of a, a Luganda or Kadongo Kamu
Uganda
artist.
ambassador.
Yeah, he
Mm.
wasn't looked at as a modern artist, and that worked in his favor. And he did a very clever thing because he would hire the tour vans and go on tour in the local towns, the surrounding
Mhm.
trading towns in Kampala, and he was making a lot of money, whereas everybody else was hoping for that one big show in Sheraton or somewhere. He only got came in strong. He had already made his money. He's coming from a very musical family background, very strong elder brothers that groomed him very well. So I'm not questioning that he can be a good leader, but the issue for me is it all about money for him? Because this young man has very much been driven by money. For those who know him very well.
I mean, as if you see all these sort kind of like all these youth who kind of have like some special talent or begin at school or regardless of any work, there's something that's always itching in them. So
Mm,
like they expose themselves as youth, so like trying to touch the society in certain ways. So as we grow in life, if you've got the fame, now when where does the power come in? So when it comes like from okay, money, fame, then after that power, when does the power comes in?
mm,
Power comes in when you're a leader or like say political say. That's where the power comes in. So if you achieve that, that's pretty much you've cemented everything. It's not now because to them now the money side of it, they got it. This if you reach a status of a celebrity, you've already made it at least money wise. If you use your money wise, like say Chagulanyi, the investments that he has had, even
mm,
Ugandan politicians up to now are shocked where this guy has got all this money
mm.
because
No,
he has
he
money.
was investing. He was investing. He was investing.
You
He
are?
was investing, and he was
Yeah.
investing very wisely, and he did work very hard. And this is what people don't want to say, but Bobby
Mm.
Wine did work very hard, and he was doing all the dinky clubs and all the clubs where the raggadis wouldn't go to. He was going to, so he did work very hard. He did work very hard. So let's move on to then something a bit more general. The high number of celebrities crossing into leadership, is it a sign of limited opportunities? Because we see this as well with the old politicians refusing to get away from the politics now. So it's
Uh,
almost like politics is the only opportunity that
the thing,
Ugandans
what I
have
can,
for a job.
yeah, generally what I can say about it is
Mm,
okay, the way like how like the setup of the world generally, Uganda, like in the last kind of like in the last
I think
kind
you're
of
blocking your mouthpiece a bit with your hand. If you can straighten your camera as well,
oh
because
sorry, can you hear me?
yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, okay. What I can say, like Uganda, pretty much like the way youth development or like going into adulthood has kind of got out of touch with the way like the world setup is.
Mm,
Because why do I say that? Like the way how like you say that okay, older leaders get stuck into it. Because the best way I can say it, okay, people might not look at it like that, but these parastatals that we used to have, say
mm,
like Coffee Marketing Board, Bugishu Coffee Marketing Board, KCC Post Office. Okay, that one employed a lot of people, but at the same time, it had a lot of youth development program in the community. Much as
mm,
they were employing our parents.
Mm.
As youth, we are having development programs, say like debating clubs. We are having like drama clubs. We are having like soccer.
Mm.
Then we are having like track events. So you see
Mm.
those programs, Parastato, much as money they were seeing like money was not going, but as community,
Mm.
youth were having stages that we are going through.
Mm.
So when all the parastatos got sold,
Mm.
Uganda kind of got like detached from the rest of the world. So it's the same thing. Okay, this program you can compare it like if you go like in England, there, UK,
Mm.
you find this sports academy that support all these youth program. You find and all these that support all these youth program. So
Mm.
those who come out, those who like, because if you come out like as a talented youth in this
Mm.
parastato, say like
Mm.
Coffee Marketing Board or prisons, they have like a soccer club.
Mm.
Definitely, if you come out as like that outstanding youth in the soccer club,
Mm.
you have mentorship. These people who act like the owner of the parastatos or the leaders, the CEOs, are the definitely will be mentoring these youth, encouraging you to be kind of like.
It's important that you mention that because even the musicians, there
Mm,
was a time a lot of them didn't have the opportunities, and you had to start out in the bands. And I think the prison band brought out a lot of good musicians as well. We can
mm-hmm,
talk about our brother from the north. What's his name? Okot. Is it
mm.
Okot? Okot Rastaman or somebody like that? Yeah,
Then
he
also
did reggae through the prison
the
band.
late, yeah. Then there was also this late guy, or is it Jasban Ojara? I think went through also the band system. So you see, those
Yeah, so
parastatals
yeah,
since those parastatals were out, kind of the youth development has kind of been defranchised. So like now the honor system that we have that can develop youth now, it's only just through prisons, police, and army, whereby you see youth development programs, say like the way you see Cheptegei, so that one now like that's like the celebrity of this week,
mm,
whereby okay, he's developing through the sports program that are through the old system that we used to have. So like by doing this all performance, he's getting ranks. He's getting ranks in police. So by getting ranks, he's kind of slowly getting through the ladders of leadership. So
mm.
that's within the small environment but when it comes like to these forces, definitely you have to follow orders from above. You can't say have a word of say, oh, you can't be open-minded. Meanwhile, the
Mm.
honor environment or the honor celebrity life that now it's kind of like the honor celebrity, something that has been accepted of recent is the music and entertainment world. So that's why it looks like
Mm.
musicians, actors are kind of like the honor celebrities left out to the world, to Ugandan world, where that's why
So,
you
so
see they
in
have
a
the upper
sense,
hand.
in a sense, you are agreeing with me that opportunities are quite slim now for the youth, based on the fact that the supportive structure has been eroded with privatization and the corporations not being as supportive. And now we see the only sort of grooming avenues for the youth is either join a youth wing of a political party early, like those that join UYD, or do your own thing with the music and acting and gain some name, and then you can cross over into leadership. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's pretty much, yeah, because past that grooming, that's when you have post celebrity kind of, say like post music era or post sports era, just
Mm.
because you have that, you've been groomed to kind of be that role model, and you've been self-checking yourself as like that is celebrity by that time when you're during your prime time. So
Okay.
that give you
Do you think as well? Do you think as well? Perhaps these celebrities have other ways they could apply themselves, but the main attraction to the politics is because it comes with the money and more power, sort of to speak. Because I mean, if you're a celebrity, you're known. You can
Mhm.
technically mobilize the community, raise funds, and do something that will help the community in your own right as a celebrity without the political power. So for me, in a sense, yes, there's a difference between celebrity power and political power, but either power is good power. It's a case of whose hand the power is in and how they use it, really, for me. So I think, in a sense, not for all the celebrities, but for some, I think the motivation here is really money, and there's no patriotism or any interest for the community whatsoever. But that's just how I feel, because even the older politicians, the only reason they're clinging onto it is for the power and the money, because
Actually,
technically they
that's
too
that's
could
the
apply
point.
themselves in different ways.
That's the point I'm trying to tell. Yeah, that's exactly what you've said. Because I've said, like, as a celebrity, as
Mm,
a youth who's a superstar or a celebrity, you get that power as a celebrity. But now, when you reach like in your 27, 32, that's
mm.
when you've plateaued. Almost every sportsman plateaus at 30. That's when the other young people are coming to overtake you. So, like, from
Even for musicians, really, at 30 is a
Mhm.
bit late now.
Yeah. So like from 32 to age range of around 39, that's kind of like a transition stage. So if you
Mm,
want to keep the power and you did your platform very well, you kind of branded your platform well.
mm,
So if you want to keep relevant in your 40s, that's
mm,
when now what is there past music or post music. So
mm,
that's when those who did their foundation well or had good mentoring or good grooming now transition into politics by using their platform they had before. So, but during, meanwhile, as they were great athletes,
mm,
those who followed discipline and those who balanced their both, say, for example, we go back again to Charles. He was a musician, he was doing business, he was reading, so he was enlightening himself reading as a student.
mm,
He balanced his family. So you see what all the qualities of good leaders, and he
mm,
was connected with the society. So you see, he had a balance. So it's like
mm,
he balanced his both. At the same time, when we compare to our brother Kenzo, you see how he's yapping this week.
mm,
Okay, Kenzo, he's a talented musician,
mm,
but academic wise,
mm,
he didn't put that one in his board. Balancing family, he didn't balance very well. Then when it comes like to money, he's so much into money, whereby much as he has this was a guy who could airlift himself from Ivory Coast to Uganda, but
mm,
he's a crybaby trying to a government to give him to airlift him. He has all sort of money, because how much would it take to charter? Because Ethiopian Airlines throughout this epidemic was chartering planes all over, even to an extent, even USA sometimes was chartering Ethiopian Airlines. So it
mm,
was just a matter of just asking for a green light for Uganda to allow him to come in. So
mm,
it was just an order of Ethiopian Airline. When are you coming to West Africa? So that I chartered a direct flight from Ivory Coast to
mm,
Uganda. Kenzo could afford that out of pocket. Meanwhile, he could offset that expense by the few of Ugandans who are stuck in West Africa. Maybe
mm.
you just tell, okay, I want everybody to come up with 500, 500. That would offset of which, in the end, Kenzo could not even have pulled out of pocket by just a word of his say. But
Mm.
so you see, that's a celebrity, but that one cannot even be a leader because he's not well groomed. He didn't balance his boat very
He
well.
did. He
So
did.
it's
He
about
did have a very. He did. He did have a very rough childhood. Kenzo did. So Bobby Wine had that solid family support in a sense, and Bosmic had that strong motherly upbringing as well. So there's again a difference of nurturing and upbringing as well. It comes into play. But finally, then, do you think they disadvantage the other candidates who probably could equally be escapable or even better than them in terms of leadership? Say, for example, somebody whose specialty is political science and or economics or statistics, who is switched on to the numbers and and the international game of politics and the statesmanship. Do you think these people disadvantage this sort of class of people who prepared and studied for this from a young age?
Okay, see, by studying, because you see, these are the celebrities versus somebody who they are just studying. Because remember, these are people who are, these are a breed of youth who have been connecting with their fans or connected with the people around them, because hey, celebrity takes his fans seriously. There's that.
That's the money, so you don't play with your money.
That's money. So your fan is your future voter. So at the same time, if you find a good politician who connects with these youth or with the locals, no matter what you studied, you can make yourself a brand. Like, say, for example, Norbert Mao was a vibrant, celebrated by the time during his MP era. He was the most celebrated youth, vibrant MP from nationwide. This is just because, okay, as a good debater, he made himself as a celebrity who can give speeches or talk. That's how he branded. So it's not about, so if you have a calling and you have like a time, because Mao kind of like also, as a youth, as a student in Amiliango, he was already he was developing. Actually, going back, this is a kid who grew up in, I think, Akira. So those parastatal eras. So that's where he got developed into the debating, and that you see how was groomed. So by the time he was ready to be MP, this was a well-seasoned politician who could talk well, and he had the communication. So you see, it comes down to communication, how you communicate and relate with society. Because celebrities.
So remember, in a sense, what you're trying to say is the celebrity power shouldn't threaten the other candidates because it's a level playing field. They are good enough.
Yeah, you should just learn how to communicate, because remember, a celebrity from the word get-go, when you say, like, if from the day he's got exposure to the community, he's learning communication skills. So every day he's on stage, he's developing communication skills.
And they do get bad days. They do get bad days when they don't feel up to it, but they still have to do it because it's their job. They do get bad days when they don't want to really get on stage. And I think that builds their resilience. And sometimes they get booed on stage. And I think that builds character as well, in many sense. So I don't have anything per se against celebrity candidates, but my concern is if they're doing it for a genuine reason, then that should be perfectly fine. But if they're only doing it for the money or because they're peaking in their celebrity career, then really politics should not be the only end game. There should be other avenues for them to go to, like concentrate on your business, which you've already created, or go start a community school. They have the capacity to mobilize to do that. So why should it all be politics?
It's not, I mean, if you see, like, it's just because when one comes in, it looks like, because the number of celebrities that we have in Uganda or in the world, say just Uganda alone, I know there are more, say, just Gulu alone, we have more than, say, 200. But those who are vying in politics that we know so far right now, the newcomers in, we know Bosmich, then we know Liam.
Those are musicians, but then they're journalists as well, because journalists tend to have that celebrity power as well, if they're any good. I mean, we know of celebrity journalists. We know of celebrity DJs. So it's about give and take. There's about 15, 20 of them going into leadership.
Yeah, so that's when I say that, okay, the way you learning how to communicate, then learning how to learn how to connect with your society, because that's why you find celebrities or journalists or maybe done social science community services. Those people stand a higher chance. Okay, you might find somebody who has done community, say like social services. A great social service worker can be, it's almost hands down if you try to communicate to compete with a social worker. For example, Liam is a celebrity, but same time, if you see what she has been doing in community, she has been
Yeah, no, I
more
know
of a
she's been
social
doing a lot
worker.
with the Liama Foundation and all that.
Mhm.
So no,
Yeah.
with Liam and Bosmic, I don't have any issues because they've proved themselves. It's
Mm.
almost what they have stood for. The changing of community and community development. They have been doing this even with the music. So I respect that. The only issue I have is when somebody comes out of the blue
Mm.
and then now they want to be a politician. Well, you didn't do anything when you were a celebrity to talk about.
Mhm. Mm.
So what makes us trust you enough to say if we allow this person to represent us, they're going to do anything? There's
Oh
nothing.
no, definitely. There are some who have failed. Then there are some who are really threatened their opponents. So just because somebody has like celebrity status, that's not automatic ticket that they'll win, because track records also
Yeah,
mad.
it does,
It's your
and
track record.
this is why this is important, because this is why we keep emphasizing on this on this discussion that let's focus on assessing the individual and not
Good.
focus on any other thing that gives anybody a comparative advantage or an unfair lead. So let's not focus on their celebrity. Let's not focus on their party. Let's not focus on their godfather said or their sponsor said or their money. Let's focus on the individual and choose the right people. This has always been our message, and we have been very consistent with it. Harry, I'm going to have to bring in Charles now very quickly. And then I will obviously get back to you for concluding remarks, if that's okay.
All right. Thank you for your
All right.
time.
All right. Let me see if I can get Charles on. We have quite a couple of journalists going for political office as well in Gulu. Some of them, like Kessinger, has been doing a lot in Kitgum. I think he's working at Tembo FM. Atimango, she was a journalist, I think, at Choice. Don't know really much about what she's done or achieved for the community. We have other, radio presenters and everybody. There was word at some point that Juma wanted to
Oh,
go.
Charles is on. Charles is on. Yeah.
Charles is on. Yeah, there was
Yes.
wait, if I can. No, I can't seem to find him anyway. Let me send the invite again. I've sent the invite. It has to. The trouble is, he has to ask for to reply so that I can approve before he can come on. But I was saying there's I think there was word at some point that Juma wanted to go for city mayor as well. And I think it would have made a brilliant city mayor, because as far as Bulu goes back, Juma's always been there, So really, he should have gone for it, but I don't know why he's not going for it. Harry, if you're watching, if you can just come back and make your concluding remarks. But I think you made quite in-depth observation, because you talked about pretty much everything really. Celebrity power shouldn't threaten anyone. It's okay. It's a level playing field. If you're good enough, you will still succeed. And also, Harry raised some important issues of how celebrity builds a leader's character. Yeah, Harry, I'm just reflecting on some of the points you raised, because we seem to be having the same issue we had with Charles last time. So I was just reminding them of the points you raised, how celebrity builds a leader's character, how people shouldn't be threatened about the celebrity power per se, because it's all down to the individual and how they communicate, and their track record really is not down to the celebrity power. So it's a level playing field. And yes, celebrities can still make good leaders, like you say. So if you could just make your concluding remarks, and then I think we will end for today.
Okay, yeah, to close or summarize, one, I say no matter what kind of walk of life, one have to have a short-term goal, long-term goal, because as compared to celebrity, You find their short-term goal is to kind of like be able to make quick money through music, or to be a musician. Then they make it through music, they become superstars. So when they become superstars, you start checking yourself. You've kind of withstood all the tides, because you know how it is rough in our region. For example, you just be new in music arenas, then they'll even tell what Johnny Gigu. So so you know that one can traumatize the youth.
Yeah, I know. It takes character to be a celebrity from the north. It takes a lot of shock absorber or something.
Yeah, if you withstand that, then you're somehow seasoned to the public eye. Then two, you need to develop your communication skills, how you relate to people. Then you need to educate yourself, because much as you are a musician, you're a journalist, you're an economist, whatever walk of life you're walking, you start a law related, or what kind of laws, or what kind of rule you can break. So you see, they're also learning laws just personally, because as a businessman, you're studying business law. As for community, relating to community, you're trying to see ethics and how like laws that affect, okay, anybody who maybe molest or maybe defile children. So you see, even if you're a community service worker, social worker, you see, you're learning all these laws of criminal justice. Then remember, celebrity will have kind of like, okay, had a long-term goal. Then after long-term goal, after, say, like if you, then another point that I say, yeah, no matter what kind of work, even if you're a bachelor degree holder, transitioning into like as a professional practicing, you need a mentor. So you see, these musicians mentor under certain camps. Like for example, when you go back to Kyagulanyi, he has Firebase. He recruited a lot of like upcoming. So you hear a musician who is under mentorship.
But now, if you talk about mentorship, though, he didn't get any mentoring for the politics, did he now?
Who? Kyagulanyi?
Yeah.
I remember he has his older brother, Nyanzi.
Yeah.
Is the season leader.
And he was instrumental in Nyanzi's campaign for I think Nyanzi was a member of parliament as well, for I don't know, Nakawa or some division. He was a member of parliament at some point. Like, and Bobby Wine was quite instrumental in that campaign. So do you reckon that was kind of the building blocks for him? That was where he got his mentorship?
Then Bobby Wine's dad also was a strong member of DP. So you see, that's how like he had that mentorship. Even if we kind of overlook that, he had a mentorship. So no matter what, even if like you're a political science student or an economist in walk of life, we all need people to mentor us in life. So communication, having goal, short-term goal, long-term goal, communication skills, and connecting with the locals, or connecting with the majority, you can build yourself. You can be an economical celebrity. You can be a political science celebrity. Say, for example, Mao. There's nothing other than just debating. He was a great debater. Like before you cut me off, he developed through the Kinyara system, because the parastatals that I told you, all these programs, drama, band, debating. So for him, it was kind of like debating club there. Then when he went to Namilyango, he developed those communication skills. Assistant head boy, went to Makerere. You know, debating has always been a thing of like back then, in the days.
I used to love debating. It's very nice thing, debating.
Every student liked debating. So he developed through debating club. So he became an eloquent speaker. So if you're an eloquent speaker, no matter of your celebrity status, it's because we can be celebrities in all our walk of ways. So that's all I can say. There's nothing other than it's a platform for everybody, but anybody who wants to line up with a seasoned celebrity, remember, these celebrities started training or grooming themselves from almost the age of 15, when they were like in drama and everything, because at school they were leaders. At class leader. They were the famous guys in school because they're influential. So every walk of life, they were mentoring or grooming themselves. So that's all I can say.
Okay, thank you very much, Harry. You make very valid points, and do have a lovely day. I know it's still morning for you in the States. It's evening for us here, and I'll speak to you once we finish anyway. And thanks a lot. It's always a blessing to have you. Let me see if I can get
Thank
Charles back on because he's still waiting. All right. Have a
Okay.
blessed morning. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.